Traffic Domination Podcast, where entrepreneurs come for traffic answers. And here are your hosts, Rob Reese and Wayne Crow.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Rob Reese here, along with Wayne Crow, your hosts for the Traffic Domination Podcast. How is everyone doing today? Let's just get this out of the way. We got a super exciting episode for you guys. Wayne is the traffic guru for this episode. We're going to be talking about traffic. We're going to be talking about the different sources of traffic, that these places are not all considered the same type of traffic. What's the king of traffic, and so much more. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. What's going on, Wayne? How you doing today, man?
I'm great, mate. Been a long day, but been awesome.
Listen, it sounds like we've got your mic problems fixed. Guys, I just want to say we are so sorry if the last couple of episodes sounded a little off because we were dealing with some technical difficulties. That's what comes with brand new shows. But if you guys listened to the last episode, or if you didn't, you need to, because it was about GDPR, all of the really important stuff that you guys need to be concerned with as of next month, May 25th, right?
That's correct, yeah. My first day on my holiday, typically.
You know, so
my honeymoon.
So, guys, we are all around the world. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on Google Play. Go ahead and type in Traffic Domination Podcast and you'll go ahead and see us there. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Also, do not forget to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/traffic domination. Is that right, Wayne?
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Right.
Now, guys, it's been a long week. Okay, listen, as much energy is coming from me right now, I am dog tired, okay? But we are here for you guys. We're here because we love you guys. We want to help you guys. We want to help you guys grow. So let's get into it, Wayne. Now, traffic is the lifeblood of any business online, right? This is
any business, yeah.
This is a must-have. This is something that you need to concern yourself with and become good at, right? Now, give us kind of a rundown 101 on what we mean by traffic. What is it, and what is it meant to do?
So, traffic. I remember when I built my first e-commerce website, most people have a misconception that when they build their website, magically orders are just going to start happening.
I used to think that.
I had it. And you think, well, I'm just going to build this website and like people are just going to find it. You don't even think about that. But then the first problem comes along, and that is finding traffic. So finding relevant traffic sources to sell your stuff. So that's simply what traffic is. It's basically visits to your website. I mean, if you look at, we've been looking at the stats closely and how many people listen to our podcast. That is a form of traffic. So it's basically visitors to your website. Now, there's a difference. I mean, you've got relevant traffic, which is more likely to convert, or you got junk traffic, which you can just send all day long. It'll never give you any results. So and then there's everything in between as well.
Listen, junk traffic. I have my I have my fair share experience with junk traffic. You know, those I don't know if you've ever been to the website Fiverr. This is not a plug for them, by the way. But you pay $5 and they can deliver you 2 million visitors to your website. This is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the traffic that's just garbage, the robot traffic. Now, you cannot stop robot traffic, okay? No. But you can minimize it through different techniques and things like that Wayne could get into if he wants to later on. But we're talking about relevant traffic, the things that you need to focus on, the people that you need to get yourself and your business in front of. Now, when it comes to traffic, traffic is not just randomly getting somebody to visit your website? What are some sources, some of the main sources of traffic that traffic domination specifically deals with, and that people can expect just on a wider range?
So Facebook really is the kind of daddy. Paid Facebook ads are the daddy, but it depends what type of business you're in as well and what your goal is. So attraction marketing, or pull marketing as some people call it, if you've got high ticket offer, I've seen people make a lot of money. That's how, when it comes to high ticket, it's a better way of selling. You're building your audience and then you're selling to your audience, and best of all, that's kind of free, which is always good. Then you got things like pay-per-click, which is fantastic. I love pay-per-click, and you can capture people different stages in the buying cycle. So you can capture them right early in the research phase when they don't really know what they're looking for. You can capture them right at the buying phase when they know what they want, they're ready to buy. So you can catch them at all these different stages. SEO is another form of doing it. It's one I used to really love. If you typed in AdWords specialist into Google, organically I used to come number one. I was number one for about 7 years. But unlike paid traffic, you can be up number 1, 2, 3 within 5 minutes of setting your ad live. SEO can take a hell of a lot of time. For competitive keywords, it's near enough impossible to kind of get there now. Plus, it's hard to gauge a return on your investment with SEO, whereas with a ad where you're paying for each click you receive, it's easier and quicker to see a return on investment, or whether the ad's going to work or not, depending on the keywords.
Now, just because paid advertisement is a great, quick, kind of dirty option, it doesn't always mean that it's going to be simple, right? Because there's a lot of things that come into play when it comes to learning how to properly drive this traffic and monetize on this traffic, right?
Yeah. And a lot of people won't think of it as a bigger marketing strategy. So they might just do Bing PPC, which is fine for when you're doing CPA, but the traffic is fairly limited on Bing. Whereas compared with Google, which has higher CPCs, but a much wider, much bigger audience. So there's tons more people on Google, for example. But when you tie it all in together with a retargeting campaign, with your email campaign or your chatbot campaign, it's about making it work together as well as best as you can. And that's what we've kind of been going through recently, is how to make it work all together and make it really powerful.
Now, you were talking about how Facebook is the daddy of really paid traffic, right? Now, it kind of sounded a little dirty. I got to be honest. It sounded a little dirty. It sounded like you're calling your Facebook your pimp. You know how prostitutes say daddy. But Facebook really is kind of the home base, the standard. Even when you're considering it faced up with Google, it seems as if everyone and their mother is running Facebook ads. And why don't you give us maybe a little bit of a brief overview as the difference of expectations when it comes to purchasing PPC versus a Facebook ad, and kind of the nuances between those two?
So PPC, it's keyword bidding. Okay, so if someone is looking for Nike shoes, they type into Google Nike shoes. You don't know where they are at the buying stage. You don't know what they really want. Okay, until they get more blue Nike shoes. I don't know, Nike Air Pegasus size 8. When they're that kind of narrow, they know exactly what they want. They're more likely to buy. Everyone at that stage, it's the end of the buying cycle, knows that they're ready to buy, so the CPCs goes up on those type of keywords. Whereas with Facebook, you can kind of give people, I mean, the stuff they do, they say they don't listen to your messages and all this sort of stuff. They do. The stuff they do, they know what you're talking about with your friends and your messages, and they will show you such relevant ads, it becomes quite scary. On top of that, you've got their pixels, which are a living beast. Their pixels are just crazy. A simple way to think of it would be, You've got an opt-in page, okay, and then they opt in, you pixel them, so you can just let that pixel loose on Facebook. They'll find people similar to what opted in. Then you got a sales page, people that bought your product, okay. So you think a week or two down the line, you then let that sales pixel loose, and they'll go find people exactly the same as those that bought. Let's say you had a $1,000 upsell, they would then go find people that bought that $1,000 upsell. So you can literally stack your offers, and as you get more and more data on the higher ticket ones, it can just go off onto Facebook and find people exactly the same as those. You can even go into depth, so you can say people who have got American Express, they're known to spend more. You can look at household incomes, so you can really pitch when you know your kind of customer avatar. You can literally find that customer avatar on Facebook when you drill enough. It's phenomenal. Facebook it gives you such targeting that no one else can. I think Google's, with their new interface, they kind of tried to be a bit more Facebooky, but they're just not comparing at the minute.
They're behind the times, right? I always am seeing Google and Facebook fighting for the #1 visited website spot constantly on those website rankers like Alexa.com, and they're constantly beating one another out every other day or so, or every other month. So I know that they're trying, but Google already owns the universe, and Facebook is trying to outbid them. Facebook is just trying to outbid them. Now we know that Facebook is huge to marketers. We know that it's super important. We know that pixeling and ad tracking and all of this stuff really is key to making a campaign and really overall your entire business model do quite well in the long haul. I mean, what do new people in this industry, people who are kind of new to traffic, what are some of these things that they can do? Because not all traffic is created equal, right? Not all traffic is the same. Not all traffic is of the same value. They don't have the same longevity and things of this nature. What can a new person really do? And what are some solutions they can get into when considering going the route of paid traffic?
So that's a good question. The first thing people have got to think about is how much they're willing to spend to gain a customer. Okay, so that customer could be the first sale. Let's say you've got an affiliate offer that pays a $37 commission. That is how much you can spend. It then comes in to understand a bit more in depth, so you understand the lifetime value. So that $37 to a more experienced mark, so they might be willing to break even or make a loss on it, because they'll understand the lifetime value of that customer over, say, a year. They might know that they can spend $50 for a $37 sale, all right, and then that later on average will turn to $500 per customer. So it really comes down to knowing your figures, knowing what you're willing to spend, and once you've got an idea of that, that's when you start. When you think, right, I'm willing to spend $50 a customer, you can then kind of look at what you think your average conversion rate should be like. Your sales conversion rate, an average would be 1 to 2%, and that will give you a rough cost per click that you can spend to gain a customer. So it might be $50 to gain a customer, and then you just need to know your figures throughout the funnel. And sometimes it can be as simple as adding another offer on the back end to get a break-even funnel or profitable funnel, and then you can just market to them throughout the lifetime of that lead to extract as much money out of them as possible.
Now, what are some major dangers that can happen to a brand new person getting into paid traffic? Because when you start to talk about profit and loss, customer acquisition, the lifetime value of a customer, all these terms, now I understand them a little bit more than I did, 6 months ago when I started learning about paid traffic. What are some dangers that can occur, and what are things that can be avoided How does a newbie navigate this stuff?
So it's important to the biggest one is just overspending and expecting something magical to happen. I know it sounds strange, but that's the biggest mistake I see, is not controlling their budgets, for example. The second biggest mistake is not understanding the traffic source properly. So knowing your figures is number one, not understanding the traffic source is number two. And some of the traffic, PPC can be quite in depth. Facebook ads can be quite in depth. So it's really getting the right guidance on how to run these properly and knowing when to stop a campaign. So a lot of people will find what they think is a winning product, and they just won't know when to stop. Before they know it, they spent $5,000 and made one $20 sale. And that happens a lot because people just seem to think without optimization, which is really the key to everything, is continuous optimization. People just don't know when to stop for some bizarre reason, which I've never found out.
Listen, you're talking, okay, because I'm hearing you talk right now, and I'm hearing you talk about me a year ago, because listen, I have spent so much money without understanding tracking, without understanding pixeling, without understanding measuring data, and I know you say data or whatever, tomato, tomato, potato, but all of these things I never implemented. I spent a bunch of money on advertisement. I would get maybe less than half of my investment back, and I tried to regain my loss via additional campaigns, and it just put me further down the rabbit hole, further down the hole of not understanding my budget, of not understanding where I stood in the cycle of my advertisement, and not knowing that I could be potentially retargeting these people over and over again, because on average, the rule with sales is it typically takes somebody between 7 to 10 times to see something before making a buying decision. So what are maybe some brand new beginner level, top 5-10 steps that somebody can take if they want to go ahead and create, let's say, a Facebook ad campaign?
The biggest one, and the one that really, it comes down to two words: track everything and optimize. It really is. Every form of paid advertising, every form of free advertising really comes down to tracking everything. So your conversion rates, because if you're not tracking, you can't optimize. Do you see what I mean? So if you don't know, if you've got a squeeze page and it's done 20%, but you're not tracking that, you don't know. And you need to track everything right down to, you can have 6 different ads. Okay, one ad could be done 100% better than another ad, but if you're not tracking them individually, you might have a winning campaign there, and you might think it's not working because you're looking at the averages of everything, and then it's tracking everything through your entire funnel, or your, that's why all these tracking softwares exist, and that really is, everything comes down to tracking and optimizing. What I do each day and what I love doing is optimizing campaigns. It doesn't matter what campaign, it can be PPC, Facebook, it can be my own funnels, it can be pretty much anything, attraction marks, and you write a post and it takes off, and you try and analyze why that did well. And all these different traffic methods all come down to the same kind of basics, really: tracking and testing and optimizing.
All right, cool. So now optimizing and tracking is all what it comes down to. Now, let's say if somebody is not 100% ready to pull the trigger on Facebook ads or Google ads or anything like that, what is another solution available for a brand newbie who's not ready to do all of that?
Well, you've obviously got solo ads depending on your niche. So you can get weight loss solo ads, you can get BizOp, MMO solo ads. The beauty of them, obviously, that's what kind of started traffic domination in a way. The beauty of them is it's one of them traffic sources where you can literally have everything set up. You can set it up. You can join one of these programs that set everything up for you. You pay your money, you give your link, and the traffic comes. Okay, so it's the easiest form of traffic to get started with. Where people really go wrong, I mean, we know there's a lot of places people go wrong, is someone will tell them this campaign's been earning me thousands. They buy 100 clicks and they're not earning thousands, and they don't know why. So it's kind of people's expectations of marketing have got to be realistic from the outset as well. And that's with all forms of marketing, not just solo ads. But that's the beauty of solo ads, is the ease you can get into them. You haven't got to really learn much until you get more in depth and you start tracking your own funnels and optimizing those. But that's a whole nother subject.
Now, I'm assuming that people should be tracking and analyzing data from solo ads as well. Is it any different tracking wise, easier, the same level to do so with solo ads versus like a Facebook ads campaign?
It's, once you understand tracking the software, it's all fairly similar. You can use this, you can actually use the same tracking software. We use ClickMagick. You can use the same tracking software for Facebook as well. A lot of the programs that are promoted to solo ads come with their own tracking software. But the restrictions with that are you can't often take these programs and change them and optimize them yourself. You're kind of stuck with what they give you. And if there's 100 people promoting the same thing, it's going to get washed out fairly quickly. And there's so many permutations with solo ads. So on the surface, it's a nice, easy traffic source. But as you dig deeper and deeper, it's the same as any kind of traffic source. You've got to do something you love doing, and you've got to immerse yourself in it. It's kind of, that's the way to succeed with pretty much any traffic source. Solo ads is just the easiest to pay your money and get traffic.
Now, solo ads have, really helped a lot of people. Solo ads have also a terrible reputation.
Yeah.
Give us maybe a quick tip or two, and then I think you have some type of free gift available for our listeners. So go ahead and let us know.
The biggest tip I can really give is find these two big ones really. Find a solo ad seller you trust and who has good traffic. All right, so that comes down to your tracking again. Has good traffic, multiple traffic sources, proven sales. All right, and jump on a phone call with them. All right, speak to them, learn to trust them. The trouble with solo ads is there's a lot of not even bad sellers. They will just send you bot clicks. All right, and someone that sends you bot clicks will never jump on a phone call with you. Okay. The second biggest tip is the same in other marketing. It comes down to congruency. So if you can get the solo ad seller to write you a swipe around your offer, okay, the idea is, I shouldn't really be saying this as a solo ad seller, but the idea is to write an email that they can send to their list. Okay, as a solo ad seller, I want to get as many clicks out of my list as possible. Okay, clicks is my money, clicks is dollars. Okay, for me. But if you came to me with an offer, I would, for you to get the best results and for me to think, right, you're an experienced marketer, you come with me with an email. That email is designed to get rid of all the people not interested in your squeeze page, but at the same time give a few little micro commitments and get people ready for that squeeze page. Okay, so if your squeeze page is something like turn $10 into $100 every day, write that in the swipe so people know they got to pull $10 out of their pocket. Even put it in the subject line. Do you see what I mean? People without $10 not willing to spend $10 will not even open the email. But if someone clicked the email, and it says turn your $10 into $100, they got $10 in their wallet ready to spend. So your clicks, your clicks may be slower, but your sales conversions will be much higher. So it's really about congruency and congruency for your funnel. If you buy different types of clicks, make sure they're congruent as well. So just make sure everything's as congruent as you can get it. Too many people don't, for some reason. I mean, I don't actually get asked to use someone else's email that much, and if I do, it's someone that orders 100 clicks because their coach or someone's told them to do that, which kind of tells me again they don't really understand. But if you can write your own swipe and someone can use it, that is probably one of the better ways to get better results with solo ads.
Listen, guys, that right there alone is worth the weight in gold of information, because you're not going to hear this from anywhere else. You're not going to hear these from typical solo ad vendors. Wayne here is the guy that all the solo ad vendors tried to be and failed. They failed, okay?
I wouldn't say quite that, but
listen, I've been in these situations that you're talking about, of where I just didn't know any better. I just kind of said, hey, here's my link. Boom, boom. Here we go. 100 clicks later, I was down 50, $100. Yeah. And if I would have known just some of these things months ago, I think I would have been able to save myself hundreds, if not almost thousands of dollars, simply by understanding that I should find somebody that I can talk to, that I can go over questions with, that I can talk about, what kind of list are they? Do they like directness, or do they like a little bit of finessing in the email swipe? And typically, I would just let people write their own email swipe since it's their list. I figured, hey, why not? But I've noticed in the recent past that very tip that you just gave is so valuable. As it's so valuable that I had a run that actually did about 49% in conversion. And not only did I make my money back in the investment of the solo ad, but I became positive in it within a week from my email campaign, my follow-up campaign series.
Yeah, I am. So I heard something really interesting today. Someone bought some traffic from one of my students. He actually got turned down 9 times because my student didn't believe that the funnel would convert. Not many people would do that. I don't think I've turned something down 9 times. That gives you an idea of what, people would get disheartened if someone done that. I'm sorry, I can't send to that. But if we can work together and make changes, because we've seen what converts, we know, what kind of converts. So that tells you the sign of a good solo ad seller, one that will turn you down and work with you on optimizing. The best funnel, I send my own traffic to my own products. Okay. Just to give you a bit of background. At first, I could send 1,000 clicks and not earn anything. But because I knew how to optimize, and that is just test everything until it starts working, you literally watch your sales go up 0.5%, or you watch your opt-in go up 5%, which means your sales inadvertently go up. That's really what it's kind of all about. And one of my best converting products was simply, it had a 20% opt-in. It was a rubbish opt-in compared to what most people expect. They had to watch a 30-minute video. They had to fill in a questionnaire, and they had to do some homework. But I converted those people once they picked up the phone and spoke to me. So that was selling them a strategy call, okay, on how to start a home business. Once those people picked the phone up to me, they were so hot, it was unreal, because the homework was watching a video of the testimonials, or watching what we do, getting an idea of the understanding, doing the strategy before they even jumped on the call. So they knew, they got excited, they were ready to jump on the call, and they were excited to be sold to, basically.
Listen, that's absolutely golden advice. Test, optimize, optimize. That is the name of the game, and I certainly need to get better at it. I know that I've got somebody on my side here just doing these podcasts that is going to help me along with everyone listening. Guys, this is gold stuff. Make sure you re-listen to this podcast. Take some notes. Make sure you jot it down. You may even be able to see some of this content in the show notes below, whether you're listening on iTunes or any of the other platforms. Go ahead and make sure that you write this stuff down and figure out what you can do. Now, Wayne, you have something very special to give away to our listeners today. Go ahead and let everyone know what it is.
So it's a guide that I've put together on buying solo ads. So everything we kind of touched upon in the last 10 minutes. It's got how to use them in depth, how to get the best results out of solo ads, how to find the best solo ad providers, how to know who you work with is trusted, is good, how to get the best price solo ads. It covers everything, how to spot people that might sell bots, how to ensure you're not buying bots, basically how to find the best traffic you can get in terms of solo ads. And it's a awesome. complete guide. It's it did take me a while to put together, but I think
it's very well put together, by the way. I've been through it. I'm still going through a ton of it and just kind of taking notes and putting together my plan around it. It's absolutely golden, guys. Absolutely free of charge. You'll be able to find the link for that somewhere in the description of the show below. But make sure you pick that up, guys. It is completely free to you guys. For being listeners. Do not forget to subscribe to us on iTunes. Also, if you found at all any of this helpful, go ahead and leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening on, whether it be iTunes, Stitcher, Google. Let us know what you think. Ask questions also. Send in questions also. And if you want to simply send us an email, you can go ahead and currently use traffic.domination.podcast@gmail.com to send all of your questions, reviews, anything you got for us that you want us to cover on the show as it pertains to traffic and building your business and getting to the next level. Guys, thank you so much again for listening. We thank you so much. Without you guys, this show would not exist. Go ahead and tell your friends as well about the show. We will gladly appreciate that. You got anything else, Wayne, for us?
Not really, mate, but it would be great to get some questions. It really would be great to get questions and some feedback on how we're doing, because we know our listeners are growing, which is fantastic, and that excites me. I think that's really exciting what we're doing here.
That is awesome, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Traffic Domination Podcast. This is Rob Reese, along with your host, Wayne, the Bad Man Crow. Take it easy, guys.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.